Thank you for having me here, Rod. I'm actually really excited to be here, and Shopley is just, I love the concept of it, and it's just different, and that excites me. That it's not just like anything else, like it's not like Amazon where it's just product and digital based. This is actually, about creating movements and creating products that actually change people's lives, and I absolutely love that. So, hello, I am Jade Winsley, and I am the founder of Luxe Lioness Branding and Marketing. And, if you've never heard of Luxe Lioness before, like you're about to feel me roar, right? That's the passion and everything I have behind this brand. The lion, everything that screams me, right? And, this is not just another online brand or just another Shopley store. This is actually my passion is about creating that bold movement for women and men, who are done building everybody else's dream and finally ready to build something on their own. And look, just a little background story on me. I am originally a New Zealander, and I left school and came to Australia. Always lived in Sydney, sort of on the outskirts, and very much that country girl at heart. And yeah, I've been here for 27 years now. So if you do the maths, you can work out how old I am. So that's that's all good. But yeah, you know, and just coming through, life of, leaving school and coming to Australia on my own. My father was here, and, all I wanted to do was work. I'm very work focused and work orientated. And, I worked for so many people and gave so many people my all that I actually left nothing for myself. And when I brought my children into the world, I have two beautiful children, and having to take them to work with me, and everything revolved around work. And it just got to a point in my life after I had my daughter that I openly share that the mental health and not wanting to be here was very much where all of this came forth through. And, I created a business during COVID in one of my very darkest places. And it basically just came to light that, my passion was to inspire women. So, we didn't have to struggle, and it was very much about self-love. And what I found in that is my passion was not so much to help women struggling. It was people and women who had started in the online space and really didn't have any idea of how to just be you online, how to show up, how to be real, how to be raw. And Lux Lioness was born from that. And it was basically a breaking point, and I was a burnout mum. I was trying to create a business that just wasn't making money, and I was running around in circles. And you know in the background, I'd been building everybody else's dream but not my own, stuck in someone else's schedule, someone else's rules, and someone else's version of success. And I became exhausted and felt invisible, disconnected from my voice, like my vision, until the day came and that line in the sand moment was drawn. It was like, what do I actually want to do? And that was it. I actually resigned from my job. I walked away from all that hustle, the noise, the fakeness, and I started choosing me. And Lux Lioness was born from that moment. And now I get to help others do the same. And when I get into the actual brand of everything, like Lux Lioness is very much about personal branding, but it's got a bite to it. It is very raw and real, and it's about helping, showing women especially, but I do work with like males, and that is, I have some really beautiful relationships with men in the online space. And it's about how to actually show up online as that bold, powerful version of yourself. And, there's a lot of shame in our stories, right? In the lives, and if you've gone through domestic violence, or there's so many things, depression, that mental health, and so many underlying stories, but those moments have actually defined who you are in this life. Well, not so much defined, but actually refined. And I love that version, right? Because you are not defined because of something. You have grown, and that's what I help people do. You know, and I've got the real strategies, real systems, and a whole lot of no BS, right? Luxe Lioness is all about clarity, because confused brands don't sell. Confidence, because your voice is actually your superpower. And connection. Everybody craves connection. They crave that real and that rawness, right? People don't just buy products, they buy you. So there's no fluff, there's no filters. And Lux Lioness creates that magnetic, unfiltered, unapologetic, profitable personal brands that actually connect and convert. And that fills me up. I love seeing people just coming out into themselves and owning that raw and that realness, and not showing just the highlights of life. That you guide through people through everything, because we life is not perfect. Nothing is perfect. And there's so many defining moments in our life that create that next thing, and that transformation coming through that journey is so empowering for everybody else. And that's what I help bring out in personal branding. So what makes Lux Lioness different is that everything is story driven. It's Yes, it's all about you, but it's how we actually create that into making your content feel more about them. And that's where the sales, and that's where everything else comes from. And I designed to empower. We don't just sell tools or freedom, we actually sell identity and ownership. And every offer that I've added to Shoply as a service, as there'll be more digital products and everything coming in at a later stage, but for now, the passion lies in having that personalized, session. Like, every product comes with a one-on-one strategy call. And what that means is it's about actually getting to know who you are, what is your why, how you sell, how you do things, and really break that open into a million pieces and craft it from there. And that's really how we sell that freedom and that identity and take ownership. And everything is in alignment, with the real journey of online business. And it's those messy and those bold, human moments. And that becomes wildly profitable, when it's done right. So when someone actually buys from Lux Lioness, they're not just walking away with a product or a service, they're walking away with momentum. And look, I'd love to just share the products that I've got and just give you a quick glimpse of, what's available. And that's coming up. Yep, beautiful. So basically, Lux Lioness is at this moment very service based, but I will be moving forward into done for you products where you can customize everything yourself. But having and being able to create that brand for you is where that difference lies. And I've got a quite a few products on here, or services, I should say, that really sort of ignite your authority. They get you to own your space and really just become who you are, and sharing that real, that raw, that vulnerable, that openness. And that's where these brands are built from, right? And basically, there's social media marketing, there is website and sales funnels. Like sales funnels are my main passion, and really bringing out that personal brand, your story, your why, who you help, why you help them, and how you help them is probably the biggest thing there. And one of the biggest problems that I've seen in so many sales funnels and content that you know network marketers, affiliate marketers, digital marketers that I see, they actually have no intent or anything behind their content. They're just posting for sakes of posting, or they're you know spamming with products after products after products, but there's no story behind that. And stories sell. That it be When you're sharing yourself and your journey, what you're doing is you're actually making people feel things. And that's where that connection, and that where people resonate with you. And that is something that so many people don't do. And with these products, everything is custom. There is no just one set product and off you go, you purchase and off you go. Everything is custom designed for you. And that's the beauty of these products. So there's no two products the same. Every single one is absolutely unique. And that's where you get to shine, and you're owning your brand, and, finding your vision and how you empower and, inspire other people. And that's where it all lies, right? And sharing the truth of who you really are is a big thing. So when we look at Shoply, like there is quite a few different levels of those services. So for social media marketing, you can start with just a very basic one of a couple of posts per week, right up until full blown multiple platforms. And just depending on where you're at, what you require, that all leads into that strategy call, right? That's where we unpack what's going to be actually the best suited for you. And, whether you want a website or a sales funnel built, I'm very much about the customer value journey. So it's starting with where, creating that awareness to that engagement, to that connection and everything that falls down that line. And there's always what's next, because you don't just want a landing page or a sales funnel that sells or offers something and there's nothing at that end. There's always got to be a core offer, and you're always leading someone into something next. Like it's ever evolving, right? And that is something that's really, I'm very passionate and proud that I can actually share that with people. So with Shoply, these products are on here for, if you were deciding that you wanted to become like an affiliate for it and share these products and services. Some of the tips that I can actually give you is leading with your own experience. What shifted for you when you found your voice or claimed your story, because that's what sells. And then using that language of truth, using phrases like no more playing small, stop building someone else's dream. Like this is your brand now, right? And you are your brand, and you want to be focusing on the transformation. Our products help get women clear and build magnetic content that actually starts selling without actually losing your soul in the process. And you want to be making it obviously personal, not pitchy, and starting those conversations, like asking questions. And the more deeper that you go with those questions, if you're talking to people in your DMs, if you're, responding to comments, just being real. That is just the most genuine and authentic version of yourself, that you can build those beautiful relationships and how you make those sales, right? And I've made it really easy with, affiliate assets. Like I've got a bank of assets that I can share that, you know, to help you promote these if that's what you're after. So just to close this off, um, I will just say, like, if you've ever wanted to represent a brand that actually means something, this is your moment. Like, Luxe Lioness is more than just a business, right? It's actually a mirror, a movement, and a mission. you know, there's a legacy to be left here, and we're here to help women and men roll back into their power, own their voice, and actually finally start building something that belongs to them. When you think about social media, it can be taken away from you in an instant, right? The platforms you don't own, but your brand, nobody can take that away from you, and you can start over as many times as you need to. And that is, that's what is so exciting. And I'm proud of what, I'm building here, but I'm more even excited to actually have you all a part of it. So this is all about selling with soul and sharing that fire, and letting people, create a brand that people can't scroll past. So
I love
thank you
it.
so much.
I think it's a very unique offering, Jade. And I really like seeing this here. I've been kind of following a few Q&A questions here from people, and I think maybe if I ask you a few questions and we do a little give and take here, that will answer a bunch of them that I've seen here on the screen. So I see what you do as a a la carte menu, or also a menu that could be taken significant pieces at a time. 4 or 5 different sections can be taken at a time, depending on the status of any person or their brand right now. They could start from the beginning, or they could be refreshed, and that's your expertise. Whether that's it appears one of your great strengths seems to me to be that you're able to converse with your clients and break apart, peel back the layers, and get to the essence of what they want to be and how they want to promote themselves and their brand and their products, right? So that really
Yeah.
important, really important key start. And then it depends on what they're looking for. So, for example, I noticed that you had what I think appeared to be sort of self-help guideline books, like one about branding and getting one was a kit that was like, here's sort of it appeared to be a do-it-yourself kind of thing. But then also the larger kits would include, or the larger products would include that touch. So if I need that, I go ahead. So if I'm somebody here on this Zoom tonight, I'm thinking to myself along 2 lines. Tell me if I'm wrong. Stop me and interrupt me at any time if I'm wrong. Okay.
No problem.
So
Yep.
I could be thinking 2 things. I could be thinking about myself and my own brand, whether that's as a Shoply influencer, or as a career individual, or somebody that owns a brand as a Shoply vendor that I want to enhance. So I'm thinking out of one side, I'm thinking for myself, but then I'm also possibly thinking about my contacts, my friends, my people that I know that would also benefit from the services. So I have the ability to sell it or to buy it and use it for myself. Fair statement so far?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I would be thinking to myself, who do I know that's going to be in that position, wants to be in that, other than myself, who do I know that might want to have this personal branding or product and actual mm, vendor-like branding as well, not just personal branding, but vendor branding.
Yeah.
Then I would refer them to you. Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
incredible. That's an incredible thing. And I think it really highlights some of the major differences in the Shoply platform, which you alluded to at the very beginning. It's not just about products and not just about widgets. It's also about other opportunities to advance your business, which I love. Am I getting
Yeah,
it right?
absolutely. Yeah. No, you're hitting that nail right on the head, Rod. Yeah.
Okay. And so when they have the connection with you and they spend the time and you break down what their needs are and where they really want to go, is it you or a team of people that you work with, or both, that help either design the funnels or code in, create the website, create strategy with them? How do you operate?
It's me.
Is
It's
it
all
you?
me. Yeah.
Love it. Okay,
Yeah.
that's
I
great.
am, as you may have known, I am very work orientated, and
Yeah.
but I have this knack and this eye for detail, and can envision what the brand looks like. And again, you were exactly right when you said it doesn't matter what stage you're at, whether you are just starting out and you have no idea even what a brand would look like, to, having nailed your brand, having it all on point, but maybe there's some adjustments that need to be created. And, maybe you're not making enough sales. Maybe there's the strategies and behind that something's not working, and maybe you're not connecting with your audience. Maybe you're not showing up as you. And that is the biggest thing. So I actually don't believe in faceless brands. I
Mm,
know, don't get me wrong, I know they work for some people, but it goes against my nature that you are your brand.
yeah.
Yeah,
I agree completely. Although faceless brands could have a face with it that gets created, right? And could
correct.
be a
Yes,
could be a way to tell your story with a different face if that's your thing. So
that's
I
right.
think it's
Yeah,
amazing. Jade, thank you for spending some time with us tonight. So folks, you're here on the Zoom. You've been introduced to Simpler Health and now Jade with Lioness. And the interesting point is you get to refer people to these products as well. That's the main thing we do here is refer people to products. And so you've got to now take out your scratch paper, take out your phone, go through the list of your top 20 people that you recently have talked to and say, what would they need of these two products? What would they need of these two offerings? And then send them a text. You know how to do it. It's what we do here at Shopley. So I want to say thank you to you, Jade, and also to Dean again for spending some time with us. This will be recorded and posted on our Shopley YouTube channel, and also links to it on the Telegram space. So thank you for joining us tonight to the both of you. This concludes our call. Next week, we already know we have Jeff Kalatsky from who we said hi to earlier. He'll be joining us, and we'll have some other vendors with us as well. So both to Jade and Dean, thank you again. This is Rod Larson from Shopley signing out and wishing you all a great evening or a great day. Thanks a lot.